Lea Pisman Puyol, Innovation Manager, ESSEC Business School. So Lea, you Innovation Manager for the Business School, and we want to ask you what do you do? What the ESSEC School did in last year for the positive economy?
Many things. I think it's honestly the most active school for the positive economy in France, that's for sure. And it has been doing so and getting involved with society for decades now. I think it's actually included in the DNA of the school and its core mission. The ESSEC School is the first one for social entrepreneurship in France. It has a chair, a specific program. It actually helps dozens of students to create their social enterprise, to get involved with social entrepreneurs. It actually has a specific social enterprises incubator within the school. So that's the social enterprise part is one part for ESSEC. And then the second part is also the equality of chances programs. So basically, how do we help high school students from disadvantaged backgrounds to actually get access to university studies and higher education? And actually ESSEC started a program more than 10 years ago, and right now it's grown, and it has led a national coalition for the equality of chances and positive, it's not discrimination, it's just positive action within the educational frame and higher education. And the last week, basically, ESSEC has had a new director for almost 2 years now, and Mr. Blanquer was the former president, the former director of the National Board of Education in France, so he knows very well the educational context, and he's moved from primary and secondary education towards higher education. And he can now basically build a bridge between what was done before, what happens before ESSEC, and what will happen next. And he's very keen in capitalizing on the digital revolution, on the social networks, on 3D printing, on all kind of new technologies, to actually embed them within the educational proposal from ESSEC, to build new, for example, together, and I had the chance to participate in that and actually design it, we built the first MOOC for ESSEC. So basically, the innovation and the engagement for positive economy from this institution is both into the pedagogy and the programs. It's also in the offer. So basically it gives visibility and open doors and windows to students to participate in the positive economy. And it's also a commitment from the people working for ESSEC and the professors. Last year, we launched the first engagement week for the school, and everybody participated. So it's basically the positive economy at ESSEC. It's first a focus on the economy. It's a business school, but it deals and it cares about social business. It's with the people and caring about their lives, and it's also really focused on the impact it wants to have on the community. So it's not only about what's happening within the school and for the people in the school community, but also outside. I think that's the difference.
Okay, thank you. And we've been talking about the carte blanche before.
Yeah.
Okay. And can you please tell us where does it come from? The idea. I mean, how was it born, and
Sure.
why? Please.
Sure. So basically, when I was a kid, I was very sad in school. I didn't understand why I was in school and why I was there and what I was supposed to learn and why this and that and why that way. For example, I'm very good with retaining images and doing things with a purpose, and I learn better when I'm in motion. But the French system of education is just not built that way. And I was always, I don't know if you're aware of this, but the first word of most kids actually is not mom, it's not dad, it's why. And in this I was no different. My first word was why. That's when my parents became too worried. They started worrying. So basically I studied. I was good at school. I was an A+ student my whole life. But still, I was just lost. I didn't know why I went to business school. I didn't really understand what was the world I was about to enter. I did my first internships. I had to confront the world around me, to go talk to people, to do projects, and then I was still a bit lost. And my parents, I'm from, let's say, a regular family. I'm the first one from my family who went to university. My father, for example, doesn't have the baccalaureate, and they couldn't really help me in choosing my path. They just say you have to study, you have to learn languages, you have to learn how to make money. So that's what the key, maybe money was the driver, but it was not what drove me. And I think that's the first step for Carte Blanche to be born, is how can I help? And I've seen later on, when I was working in philanthropy, for example, I had the guts after business school to move towards the social sector directly. I wasn't making as much money as my friends. Nobody really clearly understood what I was doing and why I was interested in saving people, or from what. And everybody then was sending me emails after maybe 5 years of work saying, Léa, I'm lost, I lack meaning, I don't know why I'm in this job, I'm burned out, I'm tired, I'm in a depression, I'm just confused. So people started having weird behavior, getting addicted to things, just losing track of themselves and of the path. So maybe that was the second step when I realized that I had to do something about it. And the last step for Carte Blanche was I started working at ESSEC and I saw all these students and they asked me, can you please help us to reform the school and to help move ESSEC into the 21st century? And sure, but before changing the pedagogy and the pedagogical tool, did you actually pay attention to the world around us? Because you actually, when you do it, when you educate someone, when you hire someone, when you manage the career of someone, when you administrate, when you're a politician or a leader, you actually have to think about the why. And that was when I was working in this school, I just realized that very few people always focus on what they have to do and their business, so education and the training and the pedagogy, and they are right, you have to actually pay attention to that, but they hardly ever ask what for. That's when the why evolves, basically. And when I realized that, I left for a world tour. And that was the decisive moment when Carte Blanche started with that. I traveled for 2 months around the world. I went to Cambodia, Singapore, San Francisco in the Silicon Valley, New York and Boston, Brazil and Argentina in 2 months. It was exhausting but amazing. And I blogged a lot. And then I saw all these new opportunities for people to learn. Online, offline, community, changes in the educational systems, parents taking out their children out of school because they weren't convinced and their kids were unhappy. So it's just so many, basically now, education is a market. It's an industry. The problem is, for every other industry, for example, we have the tools to invest in a new house. We have the tools to make good investments on the market, on stock options. But we really lack the tools to invest in ourselves. And all these steps showed me that I felt lost. I wasn't the only one. Basically, society and communities and organizations weren't asking about the purpose of all these tracks. And then here I was, in front of a world, changing, with a lot of opportunities, but nothing to help guide us through them and seize them. So that's when I decided to create Carte Blanche.
Thank you very much. Last question. How did you like the way San Partignano hosts these events?
I think it's amazing. I think it's clearly professional. I think that you manage, well, for example, you have me, and then you had the president from the national television, and then you have a minister, and then you have a social entrepreneur. I just think that the place, you had to dare to do that. You put the people in context. So if you come here and you don't think about why you're here and what's happening, I think you have a problem. So basically you bridge things. That's what I actually love. You bridge the roughness and the fancy. You bridge the theory and the practice, and basically you bridge people. So yeah, I guess it's good.
Thank you very much, Lea. You've been so kind. Thank you.
Na pleasure.
Ciao. No.